Hey friends, and welcome back to the Reddit Rainbow. Y'all, grab your vibes and delights, and let's jump into this story that is now deleted called Am I the asshole for wanting to take a break from my wife after she screamed at me at Christmas in front of the other guests? Y'all, so this story is mad deleted. So I took screenshots a million years ago, and when I went to read it, it was definitely gone. So I'm glad I took screenshots. Make sure you have re-upped or something, but let's jump into this story. My wife and I have been married for 10 years, and we have 3 children, ages 3, 5, and 8. A couple nights ago, our family hosted the Christmas party where we invited siblings, parents, and grandparents. The party was going great, and it was much needed for me after a long year at work. There were a lot of jokes cracked, and I did get pretty wasted by the end. When I got up to go to the restroom, I accidentally dropped the glass of water, and the glass broke. I knew my wife would be angry, but I immediately cleaned it up. However, after I was done cleaning, my wife asked me to come to the bedroom. At the room, my wife shouted really loudly at me. I could see she was really angry. She kept shouting about how she warned me not to get wasted at the party and things like that. I told my wife everyone could hear, and my wife didn't stop. Priorities? Why are you worried about the way people might be listening instead of the fact that this is obviously something that's a recurring problem for you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's really going on? And then it says, I told my wife everyone could hear and no, and she didn't stop, and she just kept shouting. However, when I apologized, my wife immediately stopped shouting and she cooled down. When I got out of the room, it was obvious everyone had heard my wife screaming at me, and it was really awkward, and I felt humiliated. They all left shortly after. When I woke up the next morning, my wife apologized a lot for the previous night and even broke down in tears. When she hugged me, I just left the bed, went to our kids, and luckily we had put our children to sleep early the previous night so they didn't hear the shouting. My wife apologized a lot for the rest of the day, but I just felt unalive inside. I'm just kind of like, how often do you get wasted in public that your wife has to come clean your stupid ass up off the ground? Like, how many times have you embarrassed her? You know what I mean? Anyway, I told my wife I need some space from her, and my only focus was our kids and to make sure that they had a good Christmas, and we did have a good Christmas yesterday. However, at the end of the day, when I went to sleep on the couch, my wife begged me and cried a lot for me to come to the bed, and I told my wife to just give me some space. I told her up front that I'm losing feelings for her by the minute. And the more she tries to force it, the more I just feel like I want to consider divorce. I've never used a divorce word before, sure, Jan, and I never thought I would, but that's where my head's at right now. Am I the asshole? Yes, because you're not telling the whole story. You're definitely an unreliable narrator because you've left out so much. How often do you do this? How often do you drink in front of family? How often do you drink when it's not appropriate? You know, like, why did she just flip the fuck out like that? You know, it couldn't have just been for no reason, but the OP never states the exact reason. And in fact, he just straight up deleted the post. So he's unreliable and definitely has to be the asshole. And we didn't even get a determination, I don't think. You know what I mean? So have they had problems at previous parties due to this? And this person was like, I'm pretty sure he's done this before. Notice how he said he needed the party, and I didn't even catch that. So like, he needed the party because he's had a really stressful year. Maybe his wife is trying to make him quit drinking and he's not ready to. You can't make someone. As someone who's also on her recovery journey, I don't feel like I need anything because I don't need it anymore. Doesn't mean that I'm like not wanting it, you know, but I'm not excited for a party because I know I get to drink. In fact, I think these days the only real reason I would have any booze in my house is because I was having a party, but I wouldn't feel inclined to have any. You know what I mean? But I don't know about all that. I would love to know what y'all think about it. And then the last person says what I said, which is they're unreliable, and I don't no, it just sounds manipulative. Oh, I was thinking that too. That's what I was thinking is like, how many mind games does he play? How often does he flip it onto her? How often is he like, I'm on my journey, but I make mistakes, like stuff like that. Like I said, if they really wanted to, they would, because it wasn't until I was ready that I did, and I guess everybody's journey looks different, and I'm not saying it's easy, but this person is being very dishonest about what's really going on, and I think that's really all I was trying to say. But all right, guys, I can't wait to hear what y'all think about that. Them comments were eating him up, child, and like anyway, I hope y'all have the greatest day, and I really need to stop doing TikTok lingo. It's going to be a hard habit to break, but it's going to be a good time, though, regardless. Happy to be here on YouTube, and I can't wait until next time. Mwah!